Howdy, hey, happy Friday, everybody. So, I'm coming at you with a Lego review. God damn shining light on my glasses. I know I need a haircut, looks terrible. As you all know, I got the new Lego Imperial shuttle, set number 75302, 660 pieces. And it's an awesome set, but there were some things that just bothered me about it that didn't look right. So I'm going to point out on the box, and then I'm going to show you my modifications. So here we go. All right, so here's the ship on the box. As you can see, there's a big gap, huge gap, between the cockpit and the body, and that's not how the real ship is. Under here, right here, if you looked underneath, there's a huge gap. Huge, like that. I mean, just ginormous. And if you can see, they're kind of hiding it with this stud shooter and artwork going on. But the thing that came out and supported the cockpit came all the way out to the front. I mean, there was a plate. There's a plate here, but there's another plate under it that came way out, and you can see there's a piece there. And in universe, that stops back here at the neck. So it just looked awful. Everyone's calling it the ugly chin. Also, there's no tiling here, which I thought didn't look right either. And it just, I don't know. Oh, and then on the back, let's flip to the back, and they hide it here with a little shining light. But right here is the mechanism. This whole thing is the mechanism where the top piece hinges up so you can get to the interior. You can't see it here, but there's a big bright red pin. And you see it all the time. It's just exposed. It's awful looking. It just doesn't, so it doesn't look like a spaceship. So, I spent all day trying to figure out how to modify it, and I did. So, here's my modified shuttle, 75302. As you can see, there is no longer a big giant gap between the cockpit. I lengthened it 2 pieces, or 1 piece that's 2 studs wide. And I totally redesigned the cockpit. No longer does this come all the way out to here. It stops here. I moved the main support beams back 2 spaces and rearranged the pins so everything could fit the way it's supposed to. That let me eliminate the long 2x8 plate that came out to here. I backed up and put it on here to right in front of the pilot. So it's actually the same length, just up 1. So it allowed me to add these 1x8 white plates with the tile on top so I could hide the hinge. Otherwise, the hinge was exposed, and this was a huge gap under here. I don't know if you could see how good the light is, but you could see right up through here where I put these, and there, it blocked it. So, after that, I added a tile here. I added a tile under there to continue that grill, because the exposed pins looked stupid. Otherwise, this is built exactly the same. Now, underneath on the back here, there was just a 1x2 gray plate. I used a 1x8 coming all the way out to give this support, and built these little pieces here with those wedge with a plate on it and then a wedge. And that the 1x8 plate sticks out by 1, and I connected that to hide the ugly, here I'll show you. See that ugly red pin? That's just that before, when you close this, that without these, that's just exposed, and it looks so hideous. Now, you only see it when the top is opened. Now, I also added tiling to here, and these tiles. Boom, and boom. And I added a sloped wedge piece and a tile piece there to make it look more robust, like it was holding the wing. Now, as you can see, it looks so much better from the back with those pieces there, too. It just makes the back look better. And on this side, I added the same thing, but I used a different tile just for the heck of it. Oh, and these rounded tiles to block the gap there. So it just looks much better this way. Oh, and on the back of the cockpit, I added 2 1x whites, which are very old ones. As you can see, they're faded. I'm going to actually put some of these pieces through a cleaning process. These old 1x8s are faded too. They're kind of yellowish. But I added these 2 1x plates and just these 2 inverted sloped 1x2 curve pieces. So when you close it, it goes nice and flush up against the body. Now on the other side of the pieces that came with it, that I added 2 to extend it out, I put up inverted 2x2 slopes with an L bracket and a 1x1 slope. As you can see those. Well, this one I've got a 1x3, but I'm looking for another bracket. I know I've got one somewhere. But see how that bracket holds it on? That just closes that gap more when you close this. I also added a tile to the top of the 2x2 slope. And that encloses in this mechanism so it doesn't stick out as funkily. I also got rid of the 1x2 plate and put a 1x3 tile there to hide the Technic hole that was up top. And then the rest of the cockpit is built the exact same way, but I added, you can't really see, I added a control panel. He's got 2 screens. Maybe you can see it through here. There's a sloped screen panel and a round panel on this side, and this adjustable red targeting screen and a joystick flight stick for him to fly it with. So that's my mods. And then from my Porsche over there, since I didn't build the Targa, I had some clear pieces left over. So I threw together a stand using those. And of course it comes with Return of the Jedi Luke and of course Darth Vader in the set as well. So I put them down here on this little stand I created. And that's it. So to me, this looks much more in universe and much better. I mean, before the body stopped and then you had this little chicken neck thing and then the head sticking out, and that's looked awful. So I will be in the next week or so, because I'm going to clean some of these pieces first. Like that one is all these old, like, look how yellow that old white piece is. These pieces are from a set that I got when we went to Germany when I was 10 years old, a helicopter set. So they're 45 years old and they fade after a while. But I'm going to soak them in hydrogen peroxide tomorrow morning. And how it works is you've got to have it in direct sunlight. The sunlight creates a chemical reaction that eats the yellowing. And you let them soak in the sun for about 3 hours and it brightens them right back up. So I'm going to do that tomorrow, and when I take it apart to do that and put it back together, I will do a tutorial on all the steps I did for modification and the pieces I used. But that's it. Other than that, I love this set. It's fantastic. I've always wanted one of the shuttles, but the 2015 one, it goes for like $135, and the UCS one, which is just too big, if you ask me. And I think this one's better looking than the 2015 one, especially with my mods. I think this piece looks so much better. They used to just have panels that flipped out, and they just didn't seal well, and there were all kinds of gaps. I didn't think that one looked as good. I think this one now looks fantastic. Stay tuned for a tutorial on how I modded it. I hope you like it. Peace out.